What's up, everybody? It's KelseeBrianaJai here with the review on the new Pat McGrath launches, and I'm always excited when Auntie Pat releases something because I love her so dearly. She is one of my absolute favorite makeup artists. I love her artistic direction, and I have been loving my eyeshadows that I've picked up from her this past year. So when I saw that she was coming out with new ones, like, I knew that my wallet was gonna be like, girl, but I knew my heart was gonna be like, girl, you know? So it's always a battle between the two. But these palettes actually are the lesser expensive counterparts of her palettes that she launched not too long ago. So let's go ahead and jump into the details, and I will overview everything for you guys. So I have all three palettes for you guys. I picked these up from Sephora.com. She also sells these on her own website. So I will leave a link to everywhere where you can pick up these palettes down in the description box. Each of these palettes retails for $55, which is a bit different than her initial launch. Her initial launch had these palettes. These retail for $125. And these palettes that she just released have the same imagery as her original Mothership palettes, but these are the mini version, and you guys can see how much smaller the box is, but it has the same image, so it's like its little twin sister. Also, the difference between these palettes is that this is the actual palette. It's magnetized here. We still have this insert. It comes with this type mirror, and the eyeshadows are embedded down in the palette, versus the original Mothership where this is the actual casing and then this is the palette. So we had that super heavy, very luxe palette. This launch of eyeshadow palettes is supposed to coordinate with the original Mothership launch, hence why it has the same packaging. So here's the original Mothership Sublime package, and here's the new Mothership Sublime Bronze Ambition package. So again, same imagery. But as you guys can see, these eyeshadow palettes are complementary to one another. These eyeshadows are definitely meant to be used in conjunction with the original. So the description of the Bronze Ambition eyeshadow palette is that it is an illuminating palette with the soiree of fiery coppers, illicit charcoals, sensual golds, and carnal champagnes. It says, revel in this collection of iconic shades that feature extreme blendability and adherence for pure color intensity. The creamy soft shadows ignite metallic pearlized pigments and amplify color. Experience an emollient-like texture and sensorial feel that glides on with one stroke, fully pigmented, opaque color saturation, and a polished, bright, multi-dimensional finish. I like the eyeshadows that were in this. I actually used this one for my eye look that I have on now. I'm going to do 3 separate looks with each palette. I know that you guys love when I do that, so I wanted to make sure that I used as many eyeshadows as possible, and I actually used all of the eyeshadows from this palette for the look that I have on today. All 6 of them are on my eyes. I didn't reach back into this one because I wanted to see if this one could perform on its own, but if you have the original Sublime, I would say go back and forth. That way you can create a look with more dimension and you'll have more options. But this palette is mainly comprised of shimmery shades. There are 5 shimmery shades and 1 matte shade. When you're looking at the original Sublime palette, it looks reminiscent of the first 6 shades. There are no shades that look like this. The colors on the end in the new eyeshadow palette. So moving on to the Subliminal palette, again, same picture. So this one definitely is the more taupe counterpart. It has those really pretty plummy colors in here. I love a good taupe and bronze look. When I like a cool tone look, I really like it, and this is something that I feel like will look really pretty. As you guys can see, this one is the cool tone version. And when I was reviewing the original Mothership palettes, I said that this one is the most complete because I can do an entire look using this palette alone. I like the colors that they chose to match this palette. I feel like they definitely complement. So let me go ahead and read the description on Sephora of this palette. So this one is the Platinum Bronze palette. It says that this is an indulgent palette of golden taupes, rich powerful bronzes, and velvet soaked plums that leaves lids iced in a cool riot of glamour fatale. And lastly, we have the new Subversive palette. This one is called La Vie en Rose. Same picture as last time. So here is the new Subversive palette, right up my alley with this purple and this gold. If you guys watched my original Mothership reviews, I said that the original Subversive palette was actually my favorite one out of the 3. And here it is. To me, the original Subversive palette was the most unique to my collection because I don't have colors like this. As you guys can see, here is the addition to the Subversive palette. I think that this is really pretty. So the description for this palette says that this is a luxurious palette with an obsessively opulent melee of vivid violets, risque plums, and the euphoric glow of incendiary golds. Woo-wee. That sounds fancy. All three of these palettes are limited edition, and the original Mothership palettes are permanent, so you don't have as much time to get these palettes as you do the original Motherships. The palette that I use today can be a standalone palette, but I definitely think that these palettes would work better with other palettes, hence why I think that she put these in the same type packaging. I think that the eyeshadows in these palettes do perform quite nicely. The Subliminal palette gave such easy pigmentation, and I really like the shimmers in the Subversive palette. I think that she'll probably continue on the trend with coming out with these palettes because I think that they're doing well. She did not come out with one for the Decadence palette, which is the newest Mothership palette. That's probably what she's going to do next. You never know, but I feel like she is. But really quick, I did do a little bit of math for you guys who are interested because I know that these palettes are at a lower price point than her Mothership palettes. The original Mothership palettes, they're each $125. Each of the palettes does come with 10 different shades, and there's 2 different weighings. So 6 of the eyeshadows in the palette, the shimmers and the matte eyeshadows, they have 1.2 grams of product or 0.02 ounces of product. And then the more intense foiled eyeshadows on the end, the 4 that are in each of the Mothership palettes, besides the Decadence palette, that one did not have that. These 4 eyeshadows that are at the end of the original 3 Mothership palettes, those have 1.5 grams of product or 0.053 ounces of product. So I think that I did this math right. Don't butcher me if I didn't. But I divided how many eyeshadows is in the palette into the total of the eyeshadow palette. So the palette costs $125. There's 10 eyeshadows. That makes each eyeshadow $12.50. If you're looking at the cost per gram of the 6 eyeshadows that are either matte or shimmer, it costs $10.42. And then if you're looking for the cost per gram for the 4 foiled, really pretty glittery eyeshadows, those are $8.33. But if you want to simplify all of that, you want to divide it by the total amount of grams in the eyeshadow palette by the total cost, it would make each gram $9.47. Now, looking at the new minis, this one does not have 2 different eyeshadow formulations. Therefore, all of the eyeshadows are equally weighted. So there are 6 eyeshadows in each of these palettes. Each palette costs $55. So there's a total weight of 12 grams of eyeshadow in this palette or 0.42 ounces. So that makes each pan 2 grams. So the total cost per gram in these eyeshadows is $4.58. So surprisingly enough, there's actually more product in the little palettes than there is in the big palettes. So I was very shocked about this. Typically, you know, when companies make something smaller, they're going to hike up the price. The smaller eyeshadow palettes are a better value because they're going to give you more product. It's going to cost less per gram significantly. But you also have to factor in that in the original Mothership palettes, you are paying for this packaging as well as paying for these 4 eyeshadows. So I'm not mad at either one. I like quality. I do feel like these eyeshadow palettes are great quality. I feel like Pat McGrath did a phenomenal job. And in this launch, she also came out with a liquid eyeliner. This is the packaging. Now this is classic Pat packaging. This is the liner. This is actually called the Perma Precision Liquid Liner. This retails for $28. There's 0.041 ounces of product. There's only one color right now, which is Extreme Black, which I do think that it is very, very black. The description says that this is a sensuous waterproof eyeliner that delivers elegant precision, letting you achieve the ultimate eye lift as you line and define with inky luxury. It says that this waterproof formulation lasts up to 24 hours. It is completely smudge proof and suitable for hot and humid climates. It delivers a gorgeous color payoff with an intense inky pigment. The formula dries quickly and offers an even, playful lining experience without transferring, feathering, skipping, or running. It features a luxe finish with a velvety opacity. The soft, skinny Flexi Art tip provides a unique bend for ultimate flexibility. It delivers effortless control so you can create elegant contours, pristine definition and an ultra fine or dramatic line. So I used it right now and I do like it. I feel like the formulation of it is really nice. It was very black, super pigmented. I didn't have to keep going over it several times. Like the description stated, it wasn't very watery, so I did appreciate that. I wasn't sure if I was going to like the applicator, but I actually do. It is a hybrid of a felt tip and a brush almost, because it is very flexible, and she's calling it a flexi art tip. So I think that you will be able to do a lot of different designs with this, especially if you're into graphic liner. It's super small, so it's going to give you that really beautiful definition, but it gets wider as we come down the base, so you can create a thicker or chunkier line if that's what you desire. The only thing that I do not like about this liner right off the bat, this is my first time using it, is that when I'm putting on the top, it doesn't have a snap feature to make sure that it's secure. So I hope that this does not dry out. Say for instance, you guys know I love my Tom Ford eye defining pen. This one has the snap, so hopefully this one does not do that. I also can't hear the product, so I don't really know when I'm going to run out because the casing is opaque, but it's not too expensive, and I do think that it did a good job with giving me a really nice sharp black wing. But I'm excited about everything that I picked up during the new launch. I am going to show you guys swatches of each of the palettes, and then in this video I actually am going to do an eye tutorial on the look that I have here. And the palette that I'm featuring in this video for the eye tutorial is the Bronze Ambition palette. I will have two separate videos using this palette, which is the Platinum Bronze palette, and the La Vie en Rose palette that's coming up super soon. I will have them linked down below as soon as I get them published on my channel. Let me know if you plan on picking up any of these palettes down in the comment section. So enjoy. Primed and prepped, so I'm just going to go straight in with the palette. The first color that I'm going to take with my blending brush, this is a MAC 217 natural hair brush, is Throwing Shade. Lightly tapping into that color because it seems very pigmented, and I'm going to first apply this into my crease. So using back and forth motions, I'm going to deposit the majority of the color here and then begin to do small circular motions to diffuse this color upwards. I think this looks really good so far. So now I'm going to take the color Guilt Trip with the same brush very lightly. And I'm going to tap this color right underneath my brow as my highlight. At the high point of my brow, I'm just going to lightly dust this color. Next, switching to a flat shader brush. This is a MAC Natural Hair 239 brush. I'm going to take the same color Guilt Trip and put it on my inner corners. I'm just going to tap this here and blend it over. Use packing motions to apply this color and then slowly start to diffuse it over. So I'm taking this a little bit higher than I normally do just because I want this look to be pretty light. So about here, almost above the crease, and then I'm going to start to lightly flick that color over. Taking the same brush, I'm going to dip into the color Gold Rush. Pop that color right next to the last color that we laid down on the inner corner. And again, right where that color stops, I'm going to tap Gold Rush and use packing motions to apply it on the lid. Make sure you tap off the excess as well. And then I'm just going to gradually build. Now I'm going to take the same brush and the color Bronze Struck. Just going to take a little bit on this brush and gradually build it up, applying it right next to the last color. Continue to round out my eye shape because I want this to be like a cut crease, but like a faux cut crease. That looks pretty. And last color on the top is going to be the color Illicit with the same brush. Very, very carefully with this color because we don't want to get a lot of fallout. I'm going to gradually apply this on the very outer corner. Just right here. Just to tie the look all together. Going in with the 05 Wayne Goss pencil brush, I'm going to take the color Guilt Trip again. I'm just going to apply this on the lower inner corner and drag it over, not too far. I'm going to stop about here. Same brush, and I'm going to go in with the color Copperized. Now I'm going to take this color and apply it on the rest of the lower lash line, making sure to connect it to the top. In my waterline, I'm going to do a brown eyeliner. This is Costa Riche by MAC. And I'm going to try out a really thin wing of eyeliner using the new Pat McGrath Perma Precision Liquid Eyeliner. Just a little bit. I don't want a whole lot. So that applied pretty nicely. It went on very smooth. It didn't stagger and it wasn't too stiff. Gave a nice amount of pigmentation, very black. So this is the finished look using the Bronze Ambition palette. Of course, I'm going to do looks with the other two palettes. But if you're interested in any of the makeup that I have on my face, I will have all details listed down below. So here's just a once over on the eye. So I hope that this video helped anybody out there who is deciding which palette to pick up. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. And like always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will check you guys in my very next video. Smooches! Bye!